second here. So sorry. Um, there we go. Just giving it a second. I'm trying to go live in my Stampin' Fun with Candice group at the same time, and I'm kind of learning. Fingers crossed it is actually working and streaming. I believe it is. Hello, I'm Candice Anderson. Welcome to another episode of Stampin' with Candice. It is Monday, November 24th, almost the end of November. Thanksgiving is next week. That is crazy. I can't believe this year is almost over. Thank you again for joining me. And uh, please say hello if you are here and joining live. Please say hello and in the comments. And if you're not and you're watching the replay, give a shout out. Let me know where you're from and what you think of what I have to share today. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 20 years now. I hit my 20-year mark on Saturday, so that was pretty fun. I can't believe it's been that long. And I have been participating in 2 different Christmas card challenges. If you've been following along, I have tried my best to combine both themes on one card. Sometimes I end up with 2 cards, but I really try for one card. Today's theme is Twinkle all the way, combined with tremendous wishes. So I figured we can make some fun sparkly trees. I am going to switch cameras here and get started. So I am going to be showing you the iridescent treat bags. I think I have done more with these bags as not a treat than I have with the bag itself as a treat. I think I've made one into a treat bag. I wanted to show you a couple different things though with the technique that I'm doing. I'm going to grab out a couple of scrap papers here to show you what I'm talking about. So if you look really close to this, you can see it is, so it's not clear. It's kind of got a pink, but also kind of a yellowish haze tint to it. So depending on what you put behind it will change kind of the color. If you can see, I'm tipping it a little bit and it looks a lot more yellow, and that it does the same thing in person, I promise, as what you're seeing on the screen. So depending on what color you put behind it, so that was white, this is pretty in pink, can kind of change what you're seeing. This one is Petunia Pop. So it's going to go a lot darker behind it with Petunia Pop. This one here is Bubble Bath, which is what we're going to be using today. And I just realized I forgot to cut the thing down, but that's okay. So we're going to move these out of the way. And we're just going to grab this and make sure. Okay. We're going to cut this apart. And we want it to fit roughly on here, which is, it's just a scrap piece I had, but it's 2.5. So we're going to cut it at 2.5. And it cuts relatively easy. And I'm going to just slice the very edge off here because I don't want it to be too, I only want one layer basically. Here. So we're going to have one of those and we're just going to save the extras. We can use them for something else later. The iridescent treat bags were part of the Halloween stuff. And one of the other, well, 2 of the other things I'll just show you is the, what is this called? Petunia Pop iridescent ribbon. And then they have these shimmer stars, foam stars. I have used these in many projects beyond Halloween for sure. I love them both. I hope that they keep them. We will see. So now I have my my 2 pieces here. My sample, I did use Pretty in Pink, so you can kind of see the difference. But we're going to take our tumble glue, and I don't know if you've noticed, most times when I'm using it, I am using the little tip end here. But it does have kind of a brush, a big brush end. When you do this technique, you want to make sure if there was any glue on the end that you get it off of the end because you want it to go really smooth. But the nice thing about this end is you can, I don't want to go too far, you can really smooth the glue on to your paper and get a pretty pretty thin layer. Um, if you're doing pictures that are maybe like, or designer series paper that is kind of thinner and you want to make sure that it doesn't have the glue, that end is really good. So we're just going to glue this right onto our page here, our paper. And oh, I got something underneath it. Hang on. I don't want that in my picture. There we go. That should work. Okay, and we're gonna smooth it down. Now, one of my samples, I did use my heat gun to try and emboss it or to heat it up a little. I found it wasn't really necessary. Um, I'll show you, cut out one of these. You can see it does, so this is on the Pretty in Pink. It does add a little bit of extra texture to it, but again, not really necessary for it. But now you can see I have my cut and emboss machine here. We're going to pull it over. And I am using an older die set. It is called, what is it called? Decorative Trees. So we still have the stamp set available that goes to it, but we no longer have the die set. But I have other samples using some of our other trees. I just really liked this one for what I'm doing here. So we're going to put this on here and just sandwich it really quick and run it through. Yes, normally I kind of run most of my stuff through beforehand, but this one I really wanted you to see what I was doing. So the other thing I have is this is the Mary Tags and More. It was one of the Paper Pumpkin exclusive dies that you could get. I did check; it is still available for half price. So this is a really fun die set that we're going to be using. But I have just a piece of Azure Afternoon, and I'm going to take the Mary and we're going to put it on there. Now, one thing I did use is the adhesive back sheets. These are great for making it kind of like a sticker. And so we're going to put that one on here. And then the other ones that I'm using, so we're going outside the box a little bit. This is the Celebrations, Expressions, Memory, and More pack. I think it's still available. I forgot to check, but I'm pretty sure it was new in the catalog. And it is more of a like birthday, but it has all kinds of fun like colors and different things. So I'm just taking one of these because they happen to have one. Let's see if I can find it. And there's multiple of the different ones, but they have one with like these little stars, snowflakes, whatever you want to call them. They look like stars and snowflakes to me. So we're going to use this card and we are going to cut out our tag out of this card here. So we're going to cut both of these at the same time. I think that was all I needed to cut. And again, I just kind of wanted you to see what I was cutting. So we're going to do it here. All right. Move that out of the way. Now that we have our different pieces here. And grab a pokey tool. This is an older one, but there is the same tool on your, um, what is this thing called? Take your pick tool has one as well. I just tend to grab this one because it's convenient and easy. All right, I'm gonna move these out of the way. So now we have our different pieces. I did not poke out the centers here. And one of the other things I did cut out, now this one I did do beforehand, mostly because it takes a bit to poke everything out. So there is a fun little snowflake shape in here, and I cut it out of the this sparkly paper. What is it called? Peaceful Gardens. I've used it enough. I should know what it's called. And then I'm also using the Silent Night. I love this snowflake background here. Um, so kind of the other things that I'm using. So I did add the sticky onto the back of this. The first time I forgot to do that, and it was a lot trickier to glue it onto my uh, tree background. So this sticker should be a whole lot simpler to stick it to my background. So if you haven't gotten these adhesive sheets, I highly recommend them. They just make these small, intricate dies a whole lot easier, especially the letters. If you're doing any of the little letters, it makes it a lot easier to put on. And they stick really well, but they also pill up. You saw I just moved it and adjusted it a little bit. So there is our tree. Okay, so I'm going to show you where I got the design from. So this is our annual catalog. It does end in April, but everything in it is still current. And in all the catalogs lately, they have done a templates page, and you'll find scrapbook templates and then cards and tags. And I actually took this one right here, try and lift it up. So this is a tag template. And I am creating the tag, but we're going to turn it into a card. So we're going to create the tag first, which could be a very, very cute tag that you could add to a little bag for Christmas or a wrapped present or something like that. You could easily add this tag to it. So we're going to just stamp, not stamp, we're going to attach. I'm going to open that back up so you can see which one I'm doing here. So basically we have the tag, and then instead of the oval, I've got the tree, and then we're going to put the Mary across here. And maybe that doesn't move on me. All right, pull that off. Oh, okay. So before I forget, I only want to pull it off of part of this because it's going to stick out and I don't want it to stick down on there. So I'm only pulling it off on this part. So thankfully it ripped on me because I kind of forgot that part. But I'm going to just put it kind of across here. Keep that on backing on there, maybe. There we go. And now for the topper here, I am using the Balmy Blue, what is this? Sheer ribbon. And I'm going to double it up. So I'm going to cut it twice. And I only did this just because I liked the little bit fuller look on the top of it. No other reason, really. Move that out of the way. Now I'm going to stick these through the top of the tag here. Maybe. Try and get a hold of them. There's one. And do the other one here. All right. So we're just going to pull those up, make them kind of even. And we can trim them down once we're done. And then I'm going to grab some of my white baker's twine, and I am just going to tie it around. So there's lots of ways you can do the ribbon on a tag. Um, if you were attaching it actually to a card, you might do like, not a card, like a present, you might do a loop. Um, but I wanted to have a bow, but I also wanted the part going up. And so this allows me to have kind of both. So oh, I want that tighter. Hang on. I'm going to actually tie a knot so that it stays tight. And then we will tie our little bow. I love baker's twine. Probably one of my favorite go-to ribbons. All right. And then we're just going to trim these ones down just a little bit so they're not quite so high. And I've got two that I'm angling one direction, and then I'll angle the other to the other direction. There we go. So there's my finished tag that you could add to a card or something like that. So the one other thing is it has these three little circles, and I'm just going to use some of the strawberry slush and pretty and pink gems. And let's see, I'm going to go with the little bit darker ones. Um, one, oh, it's running away. And my Mary is not wanting to stick very well this time. All right. There we go. Now, like I said, I wanted to add it to a card, and so I went really, really simple, and I just did the Azure Afternoon card base here, and I'm going to use that snowflake, is that what it's called? Snowfall, Silent Snowfall Designer Series paper, and we're going to add some glue to the back of that. Center it on there. And then we're going to pop this up with some dimensionals. Where'd they go? All right. Isn't that fun? I love the background on this one too. And you'll notice again, I did very non-traditional colors for Christmas. I have a lot of non-traditional colors for my Christmas cards. We're going to throw that on there. And there we go. There's our finished card. Now I'm going to grab this one so you can see the difference. So this one here is Bubble Bath. This one here is Pretty in Pink. So you can see that yellow pops out a little bit more on the Pretty in Pink. This one gives you a little bit more of a purple feel. I like both of them. I'm going to show you a couple other ideas of things that you can do. So this one here, again, it is the bubble bath, and this time I did the tag part of it, but I also, see if you can see that, I ran it through an embossing folder after I did it, and it added just some fun little texture. I believe I have the bubble bath, and then this one is Misty Moonlight and Petunia Pop. So again, there's those stars that I was talking about. This is another one, the most recent uh, paper pumpkin add-on that you can get, and those are available in the store. I don't think you have to be a paper pumpkin subscriber, but you might. But you should totally subscribe to Paper Pumpkin because it's awesome. All right, and now this one here, if you can see, it's got the white, and this one I slipped a piece of white inside the bag. So if you were to look on the back, it's the full bag is in there, and this is just a fun little shaker card. This is the trim. What is that called? It is the, I haven't used it very much. I used it on my Grinch. fluffy trim, and it kind of curls just naturally. And so I just tied the bow and allowed it to just kind of curl, and added some stuff, and I've embossed the background on that one as well. And you can definitely see this one has more of a yellow tint to the background than these ones do. So it just kind of gives you, and this one is not attached. It is not glued down. It is just I stuck the paper in there. You can actually see where I folded it over, and I ran it through the embossing folder. So that is all that I did with it. But so fun, an easy way to add some sparkle to your projects. The really nice part about that is like there's no glitter. I mean, I added glitter here, but here there's no glitter. There's no extra mess. This one I did use the Wink of Stella on the joy, if you can see the sparkle on there. I love sparkle, something about Christmas cards and sparkle, I guess. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that, and messing with things, and you've been following along. We have about a week left in the challenge, so more fun stuff to come. And am I looking at my calendar right? Yes. And next week will be the 1st of December. That means my live will be on Make It With Me. I will post what you need in to grab from your own supplies so that you can follow along and make uh, whatever it is that we're making. I haven't figured that part out yet. Sometimes it's day by day, but I will post so that you can follow along. And if you're catching the replay, you can follow along there as well. If you are part of my Stampin' Fun with Candice group, um, feel free to share your samples of what you've used in there. I'd love to see. If you're not part of the group, come and join us. It's just on Facebook. But thank you again, and I hope you have a stamptastic night, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.